Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us this evening. We're excited to meet with you tonight to talk about the remaining senior events we have over the next month. Joined with us tonight, we have our superintendent, Dr. Victoria Newell, and assistant principal, Ms. Joseph, and senior class advisor, Ms. Merlini. So we've sent out a ton of emails about these events. The guidance keeps changing. We have to keep reminding ourselves of what's the most recent details with the event. So we wanted to meet with you just to make sure we could go over the details and answer any questions you may have. We also met with seniors this right after school today. So hopefully we're able to answer some of their questions. We shared a Google form with you as a reminder email. If you have questions, please make sure that you post those questions in that Google form and we'll do our best to answer those. You can post those questions now, or you can wait until we are finished with our short presentation. So with that, Ms. Merlini, I'll turn it over to you.
Thanks, Mr. Hosier. Hi, everybody. I hope everybody's having a good day and a good week. Getting very excited for the events that are coming up for the senior class, starting with Monday, which is Yearbook Day, Y Day. This is a senior-only event, so there is no COVID testing or vaccination needed for this event. And tying into that event, we're doing an elementary school send-off as well. Seniors were given a bunch of questions to answer to help us figure out how many students are going to be at Sealy, how many are going to be at Greenville, and how many, decided that they don't want to do either, just so we can prepare the elementary schools for how many students will be coming. They will then come to Blandford Field, where lunch will be provided by Noni's at about 10:45. They'll sit on the bleachers and eat their lunch there. And then at 11:30, we'll have our yearbook ceremony, our traditional yearbook ceremony, where we'll have our dedications and, the students that have been working on this yearbook will be able to speak to the senior class, and then we'll unveil the yearbook and distribute them. Then the seniors will have an opportunity at noon to sit on Blandford Field and sign each other's books and just, be together and celebrate and look over some pages and, cherish the year. And then at 12:30, we're hoping to do a Color Wars event with the senior class. So that's why it's important that the seniors fill out the form so we know how many students will be participating. Then on Friday, we kick off our big celebration with prom, starting with pre-prom at 4:30 at EHS. Again, this is another senior-only event, but in this case, COVID testing is necessary or proof of vaccination is required. Testing will take place on campus, and there is in one of the Google Forms I sent to the students, I've asked them if, in one spot, I've asked them to upload their COVID vaccine proof. And then in a Google form, I've asked them to tell me if they're going to be tested, so we know exactly about how many people we're going to expect on the 17th for our rapid test on campus. You can certainly have your child tested elsewhere as well. So pre-prom begins at 4:30. It's students only. We'll start boarding the buses between 5 and 5:15 to leave campus by 5:15, to arrive at Glen Island Harbor Club by 6 o'clock. Mocktail hour is from 6 to 7 p.m. And then dinner and dancing from 7 till about 10:30. We'll look to start boarding the buses again about 10:45 to be back at EHS by 11:30. We just visited the venue last week, I think it was last week, and the kids are so excited. The students are so excited. It's just so beautiful, and hopefully we have a beautiful weather day for this wonderful event. Then we have on the 23rd, which is the night before graduation, we have a senior, the bonfire, which is going to take place where it all started this year, in the senior parking lot. So we're going to have fire pits. They're going to make s'mores. We're asking the seniors to bring their own chairs, and they can, play music. They can play the guitar. They can sing. They can read poetry. They can give speeches, things like that. It's kind of their last night together, as high school students. And then the next day is graduation. And I'll let Mr. Hosier take it from there.
Thank you, Ms. Merlini.
Sure.
Before I talk about graduation, I want to make sure that everyone knows the newest masking protocols, and actually an email was just sent by Dr. Newell a short time ago. This, the mask in question is one that we've gotten a ton of over the last 2 or 3 weeks, and I think we have a final answer, which is that when seniors are outside for these events, they do not need to wear a mask. So for the bonfire, for graduation, it's all outside. Masks are not required. At prom, when seniors are outside, masks are not required. When we go inside and seniors are eating at their tables, masks are not required. But when they're inside walking around or on the dance floor, masks are required. So that's a big change. And for students still at the school, this change will take place starting tomorrow. But it's good for us all to know what the expectations are with masking now. And so again, if we're outside, masks are not required. If a student wants to wear them, of course, that's their option, but it's not required outside. Masking will be required inside. For the graduation, we shifted our plans a little bit based on the conversations we had with seniors. Seniors made it clear that they wanted to be able to sit near each other. They wanted to have as many live guests as possible, and they want faculty and staff to be able to attend the ceremony. When we looked at the space that we had in the courtyard, we realized that we couldn't manage to meet all those 3 priorities. There's just not enough space. So we decided to move the graduation to the upper field. Seniors will sit 3 feet apart from each other. We're able to increase the live guests from 2 to 4 guests, and faculty and staff are able to attend based on this change. The downside of the change is that we don't have a reliable internet source on the upper field. So rather than live stream the event, we're going to record it. We have a professional company that's going to come in to help us with the recording, and it will be shared as soon as it's done. So in terms of what do you need when you show up to the graduation, you need either your proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test in your ticket. If you show your proof of negative COVID test or vaccination in your ticket, you'll be able to enter immediately starting at 5:30 p.m. and go to your chairs. Seating is first come, first served. So we have pods of 4 guests. So your pod, you'll be seated next to whoever the 3 other people are that are going to join you. And then each pod is 3 feet apart. On the chairs, we're going to have an index card and we're going to have a pen. We're using that index card in case we had a contact trace. We will be able to identify where everyone sat, and we will collect those index cards from you. We're just asking that you write the name of the graduate that you're there for on the index card. Every year we have a rehearsal. It's super important for us to have that rehearsal. It's 10 a.m. on June 24th. We do a complete walkthrough so seniors know exactly what to expect. We will also give out the tassel and the 4 tickets at that rehearsal at 10 a.m. on June 24th. Seniors will start to line up at 5:45 p.m. We have a great tradition where faculty greet seniors, and then we walk past the seniors to greet them one final time, and we will be able to do that again this year. The walk for faculty and seniors, that'll start at 6:15, and then we'll try to begin promptly at 6:30 p.m. So you should see us at the top of the path right around 6:30. We would start then. I've been asked, what time will graduation end? It typically runs an hour and 15 to an hour and 30 minutes. The graduation itself should feel fairly normal. We have speeches, we have opportunities for seniors to get their diplomas. Seniors will have their picture taken with their diploma. So we're really looking forward to this. We think it's going to be a great event. If you or one of the guests that will come with you needs to have a negative COVID test, just to try to make it a little easier, we will have the option for COVID testing on campus on the 24th from 12:30 to 3:30 p.m. We'll send out a Google form. We're just asking you to register so we know how many people to expect, and look for that in the coming days. With that, Michelle, would you add anything?
I think just the student speakers at graduation.
You want to say more about that?
Yeah, so traditionally we have a few students that speak at graduation, and the audition for that for the students speaking at graduation takes place this Friday. So if your student is, maybe thinking about it, maybe a little bit of a nudge from mom and dad or grandma might actually convince them to, try it. It's a great experience. And, this class has been through a lot and has shared a lot. And I think that all of them could do a phenomenal job speaking at graduation. So the audition for speakers at graduation is Friday during transition time on campus.
Great, thank you. And just one other note, we're going to have beautiful weather for graduation on the 24th. Let's think positively. If for some reason we do get bad weather and we have to move the ceremony to the 25th, we will. The time of the ceremony on the 25th has not been set as a rain date. And part of that is just because we would look at the weather to see, is it better to do in the afternoon, in the evening, or in the morning, and try to find a time where it works best to avoid inclement weather. I think with that, Michelle, if you want to stop sharing your screen. And again, earlier today, we shared a email with the link to access this meeting with a Google form. If you have questions, please feel free to submit those questions using the Google form. And Mary Rose, I'll turn it over to you for the first question.
Sure. The first question is that this parent has 3 younger brothers to the senior. Is there any possible accommodation that we could make for them so the entire family could join?
Yeah, this is where it's tough. We'd love to have as many guests on campus. And we know for families, they have to make tough decisions to try to decide who are the 4 guests that will attend. Unfortunately, with space considerations and how we have to limit graduation with COVID, we were excited that we could go from 2 to 4 guests, but we're not able to move beyond the 4 guests per graduate. I think it's hard because if we went to 5, there'd probably be someone who needs 6 or then 7. We'd love to have as many people on campus as we would in a traditional year, but we do need to limit it to 4. But again, that's an improvement over the 2 that we originally thought we were going to end up with.
The next question is about live streaming capabilities. This parent had been to a Little League game where they were able to live stream from 2 different fields without any Wi-Fi. Is there any way to be able to live stream the graduation because not everybody in the family can attend?
Yeah, this was the one downside to the change to the upper field, but we thought given the other considerations, it was worth it. When we looked at doing graduation last year, we worked with a professional company and they said, we need to do it in the courtyard, given the fact that the internet source would be closer in the courtyard. We do have a cable. The concern that we keep hearing about is that if we run that cable, we'd almost need to connect 2 cables in order to make it to the upper field. And at that point, you start to lose the strength of the internet. So we heard that last year. The company we're working with this year has said the same thing. Our tech department has the same concern. If there were a way to make this work, we'd love to live stream it. So if you're listening to this and you have expertise in this area, please contact me. We'll go over the details to see if there's a way to make it work. But so far, we've not been given any information that makes us think that we could live stream this with any degree of certainty that it would work reliably.
This is a question about the graduation ceremony. When do we expect it to end?
So if we start right at 6:30, typically an hour and a half. So I think 8 p.m. would be realistic.
There are a few questions about pre-prom. Can we clarify why parents or guests are not allowed to be on campus for pre-prom? Can parents drop off kids and leave? So around the pre-prom, some details.
Yeah, part of the pre-prom is based on there's certain limits where if you go over a limit, then you have to have COVID testing or proof of vaccination for everyone who is there. And if we add parents, we'd be back into that position. When we think about the fact that prom occurs and then graduation is right around the corner within 10 days, it's sort of the same reason why we don't have seniors bring guests. We're trying to limit exposure to the greatest degree as possible. So we know that it's the preference would be to have parents attend, but it would put us over the limit to where we would have to add in the negative COVID test or the vaccine. The other thing is we're really looking at like a 30 to 45 minute pre-prom. And knowing that this is going to already be a little bit to manage between pre-prom buses and then going to the prom venue, we just thought that it was another added risk that wasn't worth it when you consider the graduation is so close.
The next question is about senior forum, about Six Flags. Who goes to Six Flags? Who's involved in senior forum? Well, I'll break the question up into that. So maybe it's about.
So senior forum, Six Flags, we went there earlier in the year. It was open to all seniors who wanted to go. We had a great turnout. Hats off to Miss Merlini for putting that together. Definitely was one of the highlights for me this year.
What time does pre-prom begin again on campus?
Michelle, you want to talk about start and end time?
Yeah, we're hoping that the kids arrive by 4:30. We really want to get out off of campus. We want to get the buses rolling by 5:15. So if students start arriving by 4:30, that gives us, a good 45 minutes to, say hi and take a few selfies, outside now with no masks, which will be nice. And then board the buses with masks on to get over to Glen Island, where we'll have great food and great views and some dancing. And
I also just want to give a shout out to the PTSA. Buses are very expensive when you have to put one student per seat. And again, they've stepped up to help us so that we could have a pre-prom and stick with our tradition of using buses for prom. So thank you to the PTSA.
This is about students who choose not to attend the yearbook ceremony. Is there another way they can access or get their yearbook?
Michelle, you want to take that?
Yeah, so anybody who can't pick up their yearbook on yearbook day, they just have to let me know what arrangements they want to make to get their book. And they'll have to get their book, their nameplate, and their tassel. So they just have to let me know what they want to do. Do they want to come to my room to get it? Do they want to just pick it up in the front office? Like, I'm really flexible, but if they want to pick it up in the front office and I don't know about it, then that's not going to be possible because I'm still teaching. So I can't really just, run up with a book for them.
There's a parent here who's offered to donate a ticket to another family because they have a small family. And that ties into another question. If there was a wish list and bigger families wanted to get an extra ticket, is it possible to donate tickets from family to family?
We've discussed this a little bit. We do expect that there will be some families that donate. We don't want to be in the middle of that because it puts us in a weird position where if we decide who gets that extra ticket, why should we prioritize one family over another? So instead, what we've said is we're going to give every senior 4 tickets. We encourage seniors and their families to decide what to do with those tickets. If you're not going to use the tickets, it would probably be helpful if you wanted to share those with other people to help out, because again, we know that people have more family members who would like to attend, but that's not something that we're going to be in the middle of to try to facilitate that, just because I think we would have to try to make guesses around priorities and need, and we just don't want to be in the middle of that.
Regarding pre-prom, after parents drop off their students, do they leave the campus? Can they sit in the car and watch how pre-prom happens?
Yeah, so
pre-prom is in the middle of campus, so you really can't see anything from the car. So I think that it's better if you just drop off and leave, especially with the size and the number of buses that we have. It's just going to be very congested.
Will there be some information about the Y-Day June 14th program? Will it be sent out to seniors?
Seniors have already received it. They've been given all the details about Y-Day because I've asked them specifically, are you coming to Sealy Place or Greenville or neither? Are you coming to the luncheon? Are you coming to Yearbook Day? Are you coming to Color Wars? So all of that information has gone out to the seniors because they have to let me know if they're coming or not.
This is a question about graduation. What will the seating look like for the seniors and for the guests? How will they sit in relation to the audience?
We haven't set the organization completely yet. We know we're going to have 7 rows of 25 seniors. We were talking about, should seniors be in the front? Should seniors face the audience? A couple parents I've talked to were really clear that their preference would be for seniors to face the audience. It's just, that's really nice to be able to see seniors in our typical graduation ceremony. So we're going to finish going through those details, but we do know 7 rows of 25, and then we'll have over 175 pods of 4 chairs, so that guests who sit in 4s will then be 3 feet apart from other pods of guests.
This is a question about proof of vaccination for the prom. Excelsior passes are used in many venues. Can we clarify with Glen Island about the use of the Excelsior pass?
So Glen Island isn't asking for any kind of proof anymore. We are. So we're asking all the seniors to upload proof of vaccination on the classroom page. And it's only the students that I don't have proof for that I'm going to then ask for evidence of a negative test as they come to pre-prom. And if they don't have a negative test, then we're not going to let them board the bus. But anybody who preloads their vaccination will be good to go for both prom and for graduation.
This is, what time are seniors supposed to be there for Y Day on Monday?
So if they're attending the walkthrough at either Sealy Place or Greenville, they're supposed to go right to the elementary school at 10 a.m. Ms. Feuerstein and Ms. Allen have set up something. I have nothing to do with what they've set up. They've set up something for the seniors when they arrive. I'm pretty sure it's going to be outside where the younger kids will come out and they'll walk through some sort of path where they can be congratulated, and then they'll come over to Blandford at 10:45.
That's it for now. Let's see if there are more questions.
The document that I just used in this presentation is on the senior class page. So there's been a senior class page, a senior class site that's been up all year. And I posted this now too, so parents can see it as well. It's just this really summary. It's called, Senior Wrap Up 2021. And it's just got all 4 of these events on it, just in case you heard something, but you weren't sure, you can reference back to it. And one more thing, Scarsdale Inquirer will be at pre-prom to take pictures of the students, but Laura's Photography will be at Glen Island to take tons of pictures of the kids during their mocktail hours. So from 6 till about 7:30, they're going to walk around and take pictures inside, outside, and they're going to post it to our portal that, and they're going to keep them up there for free download for parents. So it's not something you're going to have to buy. You're going to be able to see the pictures and, download them at your leisure, which is going to be, it's not the same thing as being at pre-prom, but it's a good second best.
Tomorrow I will share an email that has a recording of this conversation, a link to the senior page, so you can have all of that information. And I will also share a Google form that has special considerations for graduation. So let's say that you have a guest will attend who's handicapped that may need a special parking spot, or anything that you think we should know. You can submit that information using that Google form. Again, I just want to set expectations. If you request additional tickets through that form, you should not expect to receive more than 4 tickets, but it is helpful for us to just make sure that we have all the information if there's something that you want us to know to be prepared for as it relates to graduation.
This question is about seating assignments for graduation. Do parents pick their seats, and when do they, or do they just show up and head towards open seats?
Seating will be first come, first served. We don't want to assign seating in advance. Again, that would be a judgment call of where people sit, and I don't think we should decide that. So once you have cleared our check-in table with your ticket and your vaccination card or proof of negative COVID test, you would then go to seating, and we should have more than enough for with the pods for the 174 seniors that we have. So go to the seat, fill out the index card indicating who you're there to watch. And those are the major details related to seating.
And also with seating, keep in mind that the students won't even know where they're seating until they're at rehearsal. So you may, if you pick your seat in advance and then your child is actually sitting on the other side, you're going to be disappointed that you're not in, eye shot of your child. So they'll find out that morning and they can say, hey, go to the right or stay in the middle or go over on the left, and you'll be able to see your child very well.
This is about pre-prom. It's evident that many parents want to attend pre-prom. Is there any way they can show proof of vaccination and be allowed to attend pre-prom?
So again, the issue is around the 500 cap. We have said all along that we wouldn't have parents attend. We recognize that parents would love to be able to attend. I think trying to make shifts now probably doesn't make a lot of sense. We will have a lot of pictures that are taken that we'll share. So I don't think that we're able to make changes at that point.
And again, it's only 45 minutes. So if we had parents come, we would really need to make pre-prom a little longer to allow for parents taking photos. And we just don't have the time. We did not build that in to our pre-prom this year.
One thing that we haven't discussed, but again, since we are streaming every other event, what we could do, knowing that there is a demand, is stream the event. So if you're home, you can still see everyone in the courtyard. So that is something that we will look at to try to accommodate that desire.
When will the video of the graduation be available?
Because we're not producing it or editing it, I don't have a definitive timeline. I'm actually meeting with the company tomorrow. They're going to help us with the senior award ceremony. So I should have a better sense, but I think they understand that we want to get that out as soon as possible.
This is a request for maybe a form to be designed so people can fill out if they have extra tickets or if they need extra tickets within the senior class parents.
Let me think about that. It would have to be a form that everyone could access. And again, I want to just make sure that the school is not in a position to facilitate that. Any last questions? Dr. Newell, anything you would like to add?
No, thanks for asking. Thanks for all the thoughtful planning and care that has gone into all of these events, and just so appreciative of the way the students have been working together. The students have been providing input, and to all of you, to the parents who've been involved, it's really been great. So thank you.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for joining us tonight. We will continue to communicate with you. If you have any questions, please definitely let us know. Thank you so much and have a good night. Bye.